So at the end of episode 4, Danis had single-handedly killed 3 troglodytes with some javelins, and while mid-rage, he ran upstairs. Lenosa and I think Aurelian was with him, Aurelian was with them. And so while Danis was kind of calming down, they sneakily cleaned off the javelin so that Danis wouldn't think that he killed anything, handed it back to him, and then they threw the bodies into the lake to hide them. From there, the group kind of planned an ambush. They figured, they did some talking, as Danis talked about, and Nisa made the staff that can summon some birds and everything. But they came to the conclusion that what they should do is go to the old inn where they found those troglodytes, where they found the manifest that contained all the people's names, and they should just wait there for more troglodytes to show up, and then they could, jump on them and maybe get some more information. The night came. It was about 1 a.m, maybe 2 a.m. on day 4, since you all got here. And I believe it was somebody heard something outside. I don't remember exactly who. Was it Lenosa? Because I think you went invisible, right?
I went invisible for a different reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody heard something outside, and they realize it's these 2 figures sort of like stealthily jumping from building to building, heading up the road towards the temple. Lenosa ended up drinking the potion of invisibility that you all got in the basement of the Wizard's Tower in Waterdeep, and she followed them around. And she followed them up to the gates of the temple, where she saw the creatures write some kind of runes on the doors that quickly faded. She was able to determine it was some kind of magical spell, and Rowan filled in the blanks. It said, this is almost certainly some kind of glyph of warding, though it's kind of hard to tell exactly what kind of glyph. So the party followed them, or Lenosa followed them back to their home, which is here in the town, and then went back, got the party, surrounded the building, knocked on the door, figuring, they're going to find out what's going on. And inside the building, there were 2 elves. And at the end of episode 5, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the ambush. You hear the elf that answers the door. Dorian, the travelers are here. Should we let them in? And you hear from within the cottage. Of course, let them in. And the door swings open, and you see these elves just beckon you in.
These Cree elves, huh?
Cree elves, the creatures, the elves.
Not creature elves.
The Keebler elves.
The Keebler. I want cookies.
I think it was determined that Amadi was just kind of quiet.
Yeah, Amadi's just vibing in the back. After watching Danis just take those trogs out with those javelins, Amadi was just kind of like, oh, wow, I need to file my nails.
Lenosa, I believe, is still invisible at this point. She's gonna go in,
and I'm
just like in, and then immediately to the right, so that like other people don't bump into her.
Yeah. So you're trying to sneak into the house just so you're in there. Okay.
Correcto.
You can easily do that because you're invisible.
So did I notice them doing anything? Because I was around on the side of the house and trying to like peek in the windows.
Right.
Did they prep? Was there anything that happened before that?
Roll a perception.
Okay. Cannot be good. Let's see. Up 10.
10. So you try to peek through the windows, but the drapes are pretty well covering the windows. What you can see of like the shadows and what you can hear, it sounds like they're just sort of hanging out, talking. If you speak Elvish, you might hear something, but I don't know if anybody speaks Elvish.
I do.
I do.
Okay. You roll a perception, Dana. See if you heard them talking. Because I believe you were throwing birdseed on the roof, right?
Yeah, he was. 17.
17. So you hear, it's hard to make out with all the commotion of you all kind of getting set and through the walls and everything. But you hear, it sounds like they're sort of debriefing. You can't quite make sense of exactly what they're saying, but it sounds like they're kind of going over the day's activities, if you will.
Okay. Anything that sounds sus or?
Not that you can make out.
Okay.
I think one of them said Baka at one point. Oh.
Never heard
Nani?
before.
Something about venting? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I would go back around just to join the group in the back. I couldn't see anything.
Okay.
I'll just go in the front, probably.
Was that
Yeah, so who's at the door at this point? Because Lenosa, I believe, knocked, but they were invisible.
I think me and Rowan, right?
Yeah, Nissa and I think Nissa knocked. Because I cast
Nice.
False Life.
That's
I
right.
cast
Nisa-
False Life before.
Yeah. Rowan knocked, but I was like right near them, so I'm gonna.
Right.
It was not Ty that knocked.
Just be standing in the back.
Okay.
I just put up my little tiny puffy chest and ding, 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 ding on the door.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So at this point, like a moment or so has passed. The elf is just kind of standing in the doorway, like beckoning you in, just kind of waiting for something to happen. He doesn't appear to be hostile in any ways, just welcoming you in.
Oh, hello. You knew that we were traveling in?
Oh yes, we've seen. Come on in. We'll discuss it all.
Oh. Do we enter a stranger's house? I feel like that's like a child's story. Right now,
Yeah.
happening in front of this house.
How did you know we were travelers before we come into this household?
Believe me, I'll tell you everything. But as I'm sure you know, not everything here is as it seems, and I must insist you either come inside or please leave.
Okay.
I'll come inside then.
Well,
Basic comes in.
Are you coming, Rowan?
Yeah, and I'll just trail behind. I'm just
I'll offer my arm to Rowan.
gladly
Escort
take
her.
it.
Is Aurelian and Dana still hanging out outside, just kind of like guarding the perimeter?
Yeah, I guess if it's just us at the back, it'd be listening.
It's a relatively small house, so you can absolutely hear what the conversation that's happening.
Amadi just loudly, what a lovely house you have! The inside is so nice!
Is there a window in the back?
Yeah, we'll say there's a window in the back.
Okay. Can I see inside?
So it's not a pane window, but there are drapes covering the opening. So if you want to like move a drape out of the way, you can.
Just kind of slide it to the side, and I would point a finger over at Rowan and cast Whisper. So just like under my breath, I would just be like, should we come inside or wait out back here? Just give us the word if you want us to come in.
And Rowan will reply with the telepathy, like, just wait for now. They seem friendly, but let's not reveal all of our cards just yet.
So I'll just tell Danis, we're just going to just wait. Everything seems okay for now, and if it goes wrong, then we can go in this way.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you. I know you'll make the right decision.
Likewise.
And with that, he'll touch your shoulder and he casts guidance.
Ooh.
Hey!
Nice.
All right, so as soon as you all step inside, the elf that had answered the door, he closes the door behind you all and just gestures around. Please, find a seat. Ask me anything. I'll be happy to tell you all what we know.
Amadi's going to stand. Sorry, Rowan.
Oh, I was just going to say that Rowan was going to repeat the question. It's like, well, how did you know we were travelers exactly?
Oh, well, you're not from this town, and you arrived the other night and slayed a few troglodytes and that goblin, if I recall correctly.
Were you watching?
Yes, it's sort of our business here.
Are you like neighborhood watch?
Not quite. The mayor, actually, we fought in the Troll Wars together, and he asked us to come help investigate. Very hush-hush. He wasn't sure who to trust, but he knew he could trust us, and so we arrived in the town a few months ago and began investigating.
It's interesting. He didn't mention you when we were talking.
You spoke to the mayor?
Oh, the mayor. I'm so sorry. I'm getting very confused and ahead of myself.
Oh, of course. There's many people here. I understand. You're new to town and you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Have you encountered any of the other people who've been, coming back or have stayed here or not disappeared?
We've been keeping sort of an eye on them. We don't have much information, but what we do know, we've been observing the temple for quite some time and a couple of the other establishments around town, and we believe that something is happening with these people. There's some methodology where the people's minds are being controlled. We don't know exactly who, however, we have almost certainly found that the clerics of the temple are under this control, as well as the proprietor and most of the regulars of the Golden Grain Inn. We believe that also the constable and the blacksmith are under this control.
It's just go ahead.
No, you're fine, Lauren.
By all means, go ahead, Amani.
I was just going to ask a quick question. What do you know about the Snake Mother?
We believe that it's the leader of this organization. We don't know much about it other than that.
Do you know anything about the creatures that kidnap people in the night and parade through town yelling about the kidnappings?
Yes, we believe one of them is the cleric, or at least one of the clerics of the temple. The others, I believe they're just helpers.
One of them, I think, is a goblin.
Perhaps. We have not yet witnessed this person. We've only heard them.
And there was talk of another, was a worm. Oh boy, my memory eludes me now.
It was like worm, but Wormlord? Was it Wormlord?
Wormlord.
You would remember it as Wormlord, yeah.
Okay,
Wormlord.
Wormlord.
Have you heard anything about the Wormlord?
And the two elves just kind of look quizzically at each other and like, I've not heard that phrase yet.
What? Sorry?
Lenosa's gonna like lean to Rowan very carefully, putting her hand on her shoulder so she knows what's happening, and just says, mention the word they put on the door. Because she doesn't really want them to know, like, while this invisibility potion is up yet.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, and we were just curious. Actually, the reason why we wanted to approach you is that we saw that you put a ward on the temple door.
Ah, yes. We've been casting that most nights. It's a hollow spell. Are you familiar with hollow?
Jade's not, but is Rowan?
You're a death domain cleric?
Yeah, so she's a nerd. So if it comes up with magical research and somewhere,
Yeah, you would almost say it's not really a rare spell by any means. It's a powerful spell for sure, but it's essentially an area protection spell that prevents certain types of creatures like celestials, fae, undead, and that type of thing from passing within it. It can also cause some other effects, like depending on the type of creature, it can prevent charm, it can cause fear, that kind of thing. It's really just, it's mostly an area effect warding spell.
Okay. Yeah, then Rowan would know, like, oh, yes, I'm totally familiar with what a hollow spell is.
Yes, of course. And while I'm not sure that it's the most effective means, we have reason to believe that there are undead within the temple, and we don't want them to come out.
Like, they are still serving their goddess as undead, or are they just simply the usual undead, but somewhere in the temple?
We're not entirely sure. we've only heard minor rumblings of them. We never witnessed them. Truthfully, we've never been within the temple grounds. This is just what our surveillance has led us to believe.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Rowan wants to insight check.
Sure.
Just to check in and see if, like, all of what they said so far, if they're being generally truthful and sincere about it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 12.
You believe them 100%.
Okay. Yeah, Amadi, go ahead.
Amadi is just like inherently suspicious and does not believe anything that these people are saying. No amount of insight is going to change that, though. That's just a personality trait. So, how long have you been following this and watching this happen?
Oh, we'd arrived to town roughly 4 to 6 months ago. It's been slow goings at first. We first sort of had to stay hidden and sort of figure out what was safe, what wasn't safe, who to be spotted around, who not to be spotted around. We quickly dialed in on the Golden Grain Inn, though, and the temple is the sort of key hotspots in town. From there, we've had to be very careful as to not arouse too much suspicion. And what I've told you so far is the results of our investigations.
So really, like, the only reason that we're here is to find one specific person. And I know that we all want to be like heroes and stuff, but I also want to just make sure we're checking our boxes.
Certainly.
Do you know, like, where we would find the people that they are taking away?
Oh, that's a tough one. We've been trying to figure this out as well, because as you know, they seem to come in the night and abduct people, and at first it seemed relatively slow, and they would almost assuredly return within time, but lately some people have been just disappearing and not returning. We suspect, though this is more of a hunch rather than, there's not really any grounds for this, but the way that these sorts of organizations work, we will believe that they're being taken to some kind of headquarters and either being mind-controlled or killed there.
So these headquarters, are they at the church? Because I've been inside and I've talked to the priestess there.
Interesting. No, we don't believe it's at the church. It seems a little too obvious, I think, even for their tastes. What did you see in the church, if you mind me asking?
What did I see?
Yes, anything of note. We haven't actually been inside yet.
I saw huge trees.
Huge trees.
It was really interesting. I also saw I think she was the main priestess, but her name also eludes me at the moment. It's been a little while since I've thought about it. I think it was Misha?
Yes, I believe she is the main priestess.
There we go. I got there after a little while. I talked to her for a little bit, and she was... my brain just glitched watching the cat climb.
Yeah, I was going to say, Hero and Jane just trying not to. Still laughing.
I was sitting there and I watched the cat jump, and my brain was like,
just hanging
is
on.
the tree gonna fall?
Oh, God, yeah.
I believe Aurelian did an insight check last week while you were absent to kind of figure out or sort of piece together the observations that you all made while within the temple.
Okay.
And with his role, and I'm sure you all would have discussed this, you would have figured there was a noticeable absence of ornate items and that kind of thing. Like
that
there
makes
wasn't
sense.
it wasn't like, oh, instead of a gold throne, there's a wicker chair, and instead of, these silver candelabras, it's just, wax candles. Like, those types of items were just not present, and it's not unreasonable to think that perhaps the temple had been looted.
Okay, so that makes sense, because I was looking around for shiny things, and the only thing I saw could not fit in my bag of holding. So, we also noticed that there was a lack of goods that are worth money. So maybe it's been looted while Misha's there. So Misha perhaps be mind controlled. I also sort of read her mind a little bit.
Interesting. What did you learn?
Would you mind if I read your mind?
I have no objections.
Good. And then I'm just gonna cast detect thoughts.
Nice.
I'm here to telepathically supervise if need be.
Oh, so did we rest since the last time? I gotta fix my spell slots.
You had a long rest, woke up, and then it is now the early morning of the next
Okay.
day. Yeah.
I'm leaving the one checked off for mage armor, and now I am recasting detect thoughts. So I'm gonna focus on them. So while I am listening to their mind, if anyone wants to ask questions, I will hear the truth. And then I'm just gonna like show me your brain and stick my hands out towards their face.
I'm sorry if you already said this, but are you aware of the old ranger, and is the old ranger aware of you, because he did not mention your presence here?
I'm not. And Amadi senses like a couple of like almost like a slideshow, like quickly flipping through like people that they might be aware of, trying to like match the description. And the elf goes, I can't say I'm aware of a ranger. No.
True. I'm just gonna be like a lie detector test.
Oh, we got a.
Oh my god, we got a raid.
Yeah.
Raid.
Welcome
Welcome.
to
Thanks for that raid, bud. Appreciate it.
We are currently running through first edition with 5th edition rules against the cult of the reptile god, and the party is currently interrogating some elves that are trying to come across as helpful and friendly.
I do want to probe deeper, so I believe they can choose to fail the wisdom saving throw if they want to just like give me free reign of their brain. But
Yeah, and they'll do that.
okay, very good. So I'm just gonna be like, my hands are gonna be next to their head. I'm very close to their body, and I'm just like,
Social
Continue.
distance, please.
No, I need the closeness.
That's very interesting. He is. You mentioned that you saw us, and Rowan's just going to like basically talk with her hands and just like gesture. But if he saw us fight and you saw us fight, but you didn't see each other, is he, or are you like trying to string together the information, but it's very overwhelmed by.
So you're saying he was there at the fight?
Yes,
Yes.
he came out and approached us directly after.
Interesting. That might explain it. After the battle was over, we quickly moved on. We didn't want to be found. So if he came out afterwards, that might explain why we did not see him. And Amadi, you sense no deception in that answer.
I just see
Everything that
images of them leaving after.
Yeah,
we
you sort of
slaughtered
see
the trucks.
exactly like you see through this elf's mind's eye watching your battle, and as soon as the battle ends, they walk away. So like
And Rowan will take this time to reach out telepathically to Aurelia, and it seems as though they are telling the truth completely. Every single question.
Well, we should come in, and we don't have to sit outside of this house. I hope we don't get seen. I'd like to avoid it if possible.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like, have you been influenced by the Snake Mother or the Worm Lord?
No, we've had no actual direct contact with any of these cult members. Merely observations. And you can see like a sort of slideshow of thinking of like every time they've like just over the last 4 to 5 months, just you see from their mind's eye being behind bushes on walls and buildings, just watching and observing.
Okay.
I'm
And I'm
ask-
gonna like, oh, what? Sorry.
I was gonna say, Dennis, we'll go inside, but we'll go around. We're not gonna use this door. We'll use the other door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems
Let me just
safe enough.
and he reaches into his bag and tosses one more handful of birdseed onto the roof.
Why are you throwing birdseed up on the roof?
Birds get hungry, and never know. We might need friends over here. I don't know.
We could all do with a late night snack for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's go inside and make our presence known.
Shall I knock?
Yeah, you should knock.
Okay. Nolan, are
Yes.
you familiar with a cop knock?
A cop knock, is that like shaving a haircut?
The knock that a cop
Oh,
would
like
have on the door.
the pounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am familiar with the cop knock, yes.
Dennis doesn't have any mode for knocking besides cop knock.
Okay, good to
Nice.
know.
Yes.
Good to know for future reference. So you see the two elves sort of like jump a little bit because it startled them. It's like, oh, is that your other two friends?
I don't know what I expected.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, feel free to let them in.
I'm gonna like. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to go and open the door.
I'm like
I'm
backing
familiar with
away. Yeah, I'm like backing away and like wiping my hands on my jacket, even though I didn't actually touch the elf. I'm like, okay, it might have. Okay,
Don't want that salmonella.
I just don't want to touch people, you know.
Janice actually knocks so hard that all the birdseed on the roof just comes shaking off. Like,
The rains
It's
of
like
birdseed.
little rain, but
Yes.
it's seeds.
I love that.
Greetings.
Hello.
Welcome. I assume that you heard most of our conversation.
Most of it,
No,
bits and pieces.
I didn't.
Ah, well, if you have any questions, please ask. I'd be happy to dissuade any concerns or fears that you might have.
Sure.
I
Do you
would
get a lot
just.
of birds?
I'm sorry. What about birds?
Do you get a lot of them?
Oh, I love
hear
birds.
them.
Blue jays are my favorite. I take it you're not a fan.
So,
Birds.
There's other
Sorry.
birds?
Sorry, Rowan. You were going to say something.
Oh no, I just am very caught up on the undead in the temple.
Yes, and as I said, we have not directly witnessed these creatures. We have suspicion. Just the way that some of the folks talk, we believe there might be undead, and we figured better safe than sorry. The last thing we need is an undead horde ravaging around town.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's not sanctioned.
worse than that, it is potentially an undead horde underneath the city. Also,
That's also true.
Okay.
Aurelian was also inside of the temple. I just didn't know if you knew if he was up there, so I didn't want to give the position away and say that my other friend was there. But he also saw inside, so I was busy reading minds. He might have seen things that I missed.
no,
But I really want to go fight those undead.
Sneeze is non-verbally just thinking
Mm-hmm.
in the
Okay.
background. So Nolan, could I do a history check on whether Nisa would know the damage type for undead? I know, but I want to roll to make sure that Nisa knows. If not, whatever, because she's thinking in the back. She's like, what can I do to like
Prepare for this.
prepare? Yeah, she's sitting there thinking. And I don't want to metagame because I can just do it, but I want to make sure Nisa is doing what Nisa can do and not what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems like relatively common information to me. You know, these characters have been living in this world, and even though they might not have encountered undead, they might know, you know, just like we've never encountered werewolves, we know they're weak to silver, so the same sort of concept. I'll say a DC 10
Okay.
history check, and she'll have most information needed about undead.
15.
15, you got it.
Cool. Easy peasy. Nisa's continuing to think quietly in the back. Thank you.
I think you covered everything, Amadi. It's very concerning, to say the least.
Absolutely a problem. Hmm.
Hey, Nolan.
Yes.
Where am I at on that hour?
Where are you at on what?
On that hour.
Oh, on that hour. It may, because you initially went invisible to follow them to the temple, right?
Yes.
So I'll say it's been, at most, it's probably taken you 10 minutes to track them there, track them to the house, go back to the inn, relay the information, and then like by now it may have been like 15, 20 minutes. So maybe 30 to 40 minutes now has passed since you initially drank the potion.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know it, like, so that she's tracking it in her head.
Yeah.
So like if it's gonna wear off here, she goes into like a dark corner so she can do that like Batman, like come out of the shadows bit.
Right.
But, she's generally gonna keep her position hidden still. She's not gonna try and say anything or ask questions.
Yeah, you've still got some time.
Great.
Was there anything else that I can help you all with?
I'm just curious. Do you know if there's like a safe or somewhat safe place to stay?
That's the question, isn't it? I think it'd be easier for me to say places that aren't safe. The only person that we trust implicitly is the mayor. Beyond that, certainly avoid the Golden Grain Inn. Avoid the blacksmith. Avoid the temple. Otherwise, as we've said, we've not directly questioned anybody. We've merely observed. So you might do well to ask around. Otherwise, I can't say with certainty what is absolutely safe.
We will check in with the old ranger probably and get back to you about that. Is there a way to contact you that is discreet?
You're welcome to come by anytime. Most of the townsfolk, they seem to be vaguely aware of our presence and slightly distrustful, but, you know, we are elves, and we're strange elves at that, especially during a time of such mysterious happenings. But beyond that, you're welcome to come and go as you please.
Okay. Thank you.
Why should we avoid the Golden Grain Inn as well as the blacksmith?
We're reasonably certain that both of them are under control of this mind-affecting whatever is happening. The magics but we believe it's magics. We don't think it's a disease or simply coercion. We think something magical is afoot. Further, the Golden Grain Inn, there seems to be quite a few regulars that we suspect are controlled, and we believe that some of the kidnappings are taking place there as well.
Good to know.
Do you have a bathroom in here?
Certainly. It's right over here.
You just seem like you have this covered, friends.
By all means.
Dana slumbers to the bathroom.
I'm getting super not excited's the wrong word, but I feel this like slowly building anticipation, and I'm just waiting for it to pop, because like we haven't had combat since episode 3, and even then it was just like a blip.
Sorry.
Just no, it's totally fine. It's just like it's been just a lot of like investigation and planning and figuring things out, and I'm just like waiting for that moment where like, because it's just gonna kick off. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna reach that precipice where everything gets put into action, and then it's just gonna be like
temple.
Yeah, charge the temple. Or
I was gonna say, like, if you want an inside peek into Lenosa's mind, I want to go to this fucking temple and just.
Yeah, I mean,
out.
like,
I'm on
we
board.
can have combat. You guys just have to tell Danis that there are people at the temple who need their ass kicked. I
Yeah.
mean, I would phrase it slightly differently, but
Can I tell you all a former D&D story of mine experience running this campaign?
Please.
So we were running Pathfinder, so that only matters because there was a class that's slightly different than the 5e classes. But basically, they go to the constable's office. They had reason to believe that the constable was controlled, just like you found out from these elves. And they burned the constable huts down because I think somebody ignited a flaming sword or something, and they accidentally caught a drapery on fire. Anyway, constable building goes up in flames. They start harassing the townsfolk. The town creates a mob trying to kick them out of town. Like, get out of here! Go! You're just destroying everything! This was the same party that just slaughtered the temple because the priestess wouldn't tell her age, by the way.
Amazing.
And so, as this town mob is surrounding the party, one of them, and I don't remember why they asked, but they said, how many of these people are children? And so I, as a good DM, I decide, well, let's roll a D100. I rolled a 99%. So 99% of the town was children, which we just immediately canonized. And so one of them is sitting there with this flaming sword swinging as the children charge him. And he's like, I don't want to kill them, but they won't leave me alone. Just leveling these children. And then the cleric or something decides that he's going to beam down like this divine moonbeam or something and just vaporizes the rest of the children.
Okay, Anakin.
And
Non-lethally, because we're on Twitch, though.
That's true.
non-lethally, right?
That's true.
And that was the end of Against the Cult of the Reptile God for that group. Oh yeah, and one of them was a true polymorphed red dragon. That was fun. They had like a plus 46 modifier at like level 3.
That's a lot.
That was extra. That was extra.
Pathfinder's fun. It leads to some min-maxing that is not okay.
That is
Some
true.
wacky, yeah, some wacky stuff.
Sure. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was just going to say it makes sense that the town was 99% children, because if you're turning people to a cult to do like labor and stuff for you, why would you have the
need the
children?
adults.
Yeah, children are so viral, or not viral, right?
I mean, they do carry a lot of bacteria
I mean, yes,
and
and
sneeze
also,
directly
yes.
into your fucking eyeballs. Like, they just come up and they're like, hey, Mom! And you're like, wow! My eyes were open! Thank you.
I watched a friend's toddler for a few weeks because they had a work situation, and I swear that thing was the stickiest thing I have ever encountered. And
Damn
it just
hands.
Children are sticky.
Yeah, I
Why?
don't-
We don't know. You wash
Damn
them 6
hands.
times a day and they are still sticky.
yeah, they just come to you like, how did your hands get wet and sticky and gross and slimy? What
Don't
did you?
ask
And then they're just like,
questions that
oh,
you don't want answers to. That is
Yeah.
the main part of being a parent. Anyways, Amadi would really like to go charge at the temple. So if anyone else also wants to go back, Amadi wants to find important things. So
I just want to. Yeah, Rona's just wants to see the temple, and
let's go.
I realized
far
I
only
didn't
two
get
of you
to
seen it.
answer the beginning question, but that kind of loops into this, where she's currently freaking out about there potentially being another god, and like how basically a new deity and her like religious brain is like breaking because of that.
Oh, right, because like a new deity could potentially be being spawned through this belief system.
yeah,
And
so it's
you're
like
just
really
like,
breaking
what?
like her like very sheltered
Yeah.
religion brain.
Hey, I super want to help with the whole temple thing, but I'm washing my hands. Can we wait like 1, 2, like 18 more seconds?
Sure.
17 seconds for sure.
How long does it
birthday.
So, is the plan
Okay, I'm
to
good.
head right over there? Wow, record timing. It was.
Same
Let's
as
go.
every time. Well, my hands are. Well, that's fine. It helps the moss.
Helps the moss.
Well,
I
Yeah, so just
Should.
to give sort of a general, so we're all collectively on the same page. It's roughly 3 or 4 in the morning. You could certainly go to the temple at this time of night and try to break in or do whatever you want to do, or you could wait for the day. Totally up to you. But just so we are all on the same page, it's about 3 or 4 in the morning on the 4th day.
well. Does anybody know? I mean, I know these creatures are stronger at night. Does it matter if they're in the sun? I mean, if we're inside, it's not like we're gonna see much sunshine anyways.
I believe that it's due to their like just their habits. Not sure directly in the sun. Would Rowan know if it's directly in the sun?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out actually what role that would be, and I believe it's going to be a nature because I think they're technically animals, and they're not like magical creatures or anything like that.
Gotcha. That is a 14.
A 14. You're not 100% sure on this, but you don't think it's like an exposure to the sun kind of thing. You think it's more of just like a time of day thing. But you're not totally sold on that fact.
That's really hard to be certain. I mean,
We put ourselves at odds of facing a stronger enemy, but we also give them more time if we wait.
but I mean, but would it be troglodytes at the temple, or would it be undead, or would it be mind-controlled clerics?
All of the above we could be walking into. I mean, happy to go along, we can find out. Just want to be aware of what we're possibly getting into.
Should I go as myself, or?
Yeah, you should go as yourself.
I think that's best.
Minor amendment. I'm sorry. You have reasonable suspicion that it's exposure to sunlight, not time of day. So other way around. You're not totally sold on it, but you're pretty sure that it's the actual sunlight itself.
Okay.
And that's more to do with the fact that they're like underground creatures, and they just have a hard time seeing in bright light.
Well, then time is of the essence, right?
Mhm. Yeah, plus if it's bright light that we need, then I could just do that. And
Perfect.
she's going to cast a light on her shield and have like a very purple glowy shield.
Oh. Needs to take notes.
Well, should we go for a midnight stroll?
I like looking at the stars.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll start to head outside. Make our way towards the temple.
To the Temple of America?
America.
I really wish I would have renamed that, honestly.
It's too late.
Too late. It's canon now.
So just for clarity, are we moving our way in quietly, or
Cop knocking.
are we just pushing our way inside?
Well, pushed our way inside before.
Only downside of sneaking is that not all of us are really great at that. So
Sure.
That is very true.
Me.
That's a fair
Pretty
point.
good.
Is Lenosi still invisible?
Mm-hmm. Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For probably a few more minutes, but not much longer.
Question mark?
I have a few minutes. I have a few minutes left.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
If my
Lenosi.
internal timing is to be trusted.
I trust it.
You can't just sneak up on people like that. I mean, clearly you can, but
Should you? That's the question.
Aurelian can't see it, but there's a smirk on Lenosis' face.
I know you're smirking.
I can sense it.
You cannot prove it.
Feel it.
Okay. So we're just gonna march our way over then.
Onward.
and we also have some of the protection of their hollow ward.
True.
What is this? What is this hollow ward? What does this do?
It's basically like a warding off AoE. Do not come around here for Fae, Celestials, etc., undead.
Interesting.
So it's repelling at least that first entrance area, giving us some cover.
Yeah. All right. Can't say I am as excited as you are, Amadi, but I'm ready. Take care of this.
I'm just glad that we're all here again. And
It's nice to be together. I'm just really hoping that maybe we find any of the relics or anything that is valuable to the church, so we can return it.
Can I get an insight check on that?
I actually wanted to roll.
Let me roll
Do
an
I need to
assumption.
roll, or
I mean, like, I'm obviously wanting to pocket them.
I rolled a
so-
natural 20. So
Hold on, let me see if I roll in the.
oh yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I rolled a natural once. So,
Oh,
Somebody just kind of like winks, like,
like,
So it's a 24 on a natural 20.
mine would have been a 27. So
Nice.
instead, it was an 8. No, you put them back where they belong,
Of course, yes, of course.
in my pockets.
Absolutely.
Anyways, let's go. Money's just gonna kind of like whoop out the door.
Yes.
all right. So tell me about what the plan is. What's your plan of action coming up to this temple?
Well,
Whatever marching order there is, I'm not in the front nor the back.
Janice is in the front. He's still got his walking.
Linos is right next to Danis, but he doesn't know it.
I'll be behind those two.
He's still got his walking stick out until they get like right up to the door, and then he's gonna put it on his back and he'll swap out for the quarterstaff and the flail.
I'll be in the back.
I guess I'm in the middle.
Gotta be behind Rowan's light so I can see.
Good.
The glowy shield. We were never meant to be stealthy.
No. We have a beacon. Oh, man. So, yeah, we'll just.
So you walk up to the main gate of the temple, which most of you are seeing for the first time. It's a nice path lined on either side with tall trees. And you reach the large wooden gates to the temple, which last time Aurelia and Amadi were here, they simply pushed open.
Any such luck that the doors are unlocked again a second time?
If you go to push the gates, you'll find this time that they appear to be barred from the inside.
How high is how high is it?
How did I know you were going to ask that? And how did I not have the answer at the same time? You're probably going to want to know how high this is. And just let's say that it's not gigantic. It's probably like 10 to 15 feet tall.
I want to try to scale it.
Okay, give me a climb check.
Okay. Is that athletics or acrobatics?
Yes, I'm sorry, athletics check.
Can I be a ninja about it? All right, let's see. 15, 16.
16. So you are able to scale it. While climbing, I believe you have quarter speed, but you're not really in combat, so it doesn't matter too much. As long as you take your time, you can scale to the top of the 15-foot wall. The walls themselves are about 2 to 3 foot thick, so you can kind of perch yourself up there real quick and maybe take a peek.
Yeah.
Shall we head on over to the Macaroni?
Yes. Macaroni?
Yes.
Yeah.
Macaroni.
If
Macaroni?
Aurelian is having any issues with climbing, Danis would be more than happy to help him. Not just because he's like got 2+ feet on him, but
Good
Then
boost.
Dennis gonna yeet. Dennis yeet Aurelian.
Dennis gonna yeet.
At the bottom middle, I see.
Yeah, very bottom middle. You should see just sort of a wedge of.
What do we see what the gate is barred by?
It's more just an assumption that the door's locked. You would know that this kind of door probably just has like a wooden thing on the other side barring it.
All right. Do I see anything looking out? Is there anything in the courtyard?
Aside from the actual temple itself, how long are you going to stay looking?
30 seconds.
30 seconds or so. You can see the front of the temple and a little bit of the sides. But aside from that, you think... Roll a perception check.
Okay. Rolled a 10, so that's a 13.
13. You think you might hear something within the temple grounds, but you can't really be sure what.
Okay. I'm going to try to quietly drop down.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. It's easy enough for you to do.
Cool. And I will, if there's like a bar or something to lift it off.
Oh, on the inside.
On
Gotcha.
the inside, yeah, sorry, on the inside.
Go ahead and roll a stealth.
Okay. Ooh, okay. That is, math is hard. 22.
Yeah, you can pretty easily slide down onto the inside of the wall.
So, and just lift up whatever gate may be holding it, or whatever bar may be holding the gate closed.
Yeah, you can do that. It's just it's a simple wooden bar. You can just quietly lift it up, set it over aside.
And I will open the doors and graciously bow. Welcome in, my friends. Make yourselves at home.
Oh, thank you, Master Aurelian.
Anytime, Sir Dennis.
Maddie really
porch.
contemplates doing Misty Step the entire time they watch him climb the wall, but then decides against it and just walks through.
I'm gonna take off the light on the shield now.
No!
Only for a little bit.
Okay, can I hold on to you, please?
Oh, so it sounds like there may be someone walking about the grounds, though. Just as an FYI.
Okay.
I can give you a small light if you're actually worried about it.
Very much.
I can't hear you.
I would like that very much.
Okay. I just take like a cog out of my little component pouch and I use magical tinkering, and it's just a small little 10-foot light for
Thank
you can speak to it and say brighter. It'll go up to 25 feet.
Lovely. Can I say off for now?
Off.
Off. Whoa.
It'll only last for like 2 hours.
Okay. On 10 feet. Oh. I can see.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
I
We
can't
splitting up?
see
We
anything,
staying together?
so
What's the
I
plan?
follow.
Let's stick together. I think we
Okay.
should.
Yeah, so what do you all want to do? You want to search the grounds? Do you want to just try to go right into the temple?
Should probably search the grounds and then go in the temple.
Yeah, definitely search at least for what might be there.
Sure.
Try and take out the person walking the grounds, or
If they seem, I don't know, they seem hostile, I guess.
Oh,
Can
you
we?
can take them out before they see us.
Well, it was a gardener here. It seemed, I don't know.
That gardener seemed really suspicious.
Are there windows on the front of the church?
There are not. It's pretty much a solid stone structure.
Okay, Dan's gonna creep up to about the corner and just kind of listen for someone coming around the corner.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Perception 21.
21. You hear definitely footsteps And then also maybe like this. It sounds like animal breathing. Like it's way too rapid to be a human or other like large creature. Like it's really quick, almost panting.
Dog-like at all?
Yeah, wolf-like maybe.
Instead, I could just quickly flip on the vigilance on target and then send him in a circle. It'll be real fast. He's small.
What is it? What does that do? What does he do?
Nothing can surprise him.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
Target?
do it.
And I look at him, and he has his little head up, and I just, she snaps, because it is magical, and it, I guess, flips a switch, and he kind of changes eye colors from orange to blue, and I'm like, search the perimeter, come right back here. And
So
you
tell
hear,
me-
you
oh,
hear
go
the
ahead.
dumb robotic like squeaking that Nisa like clearly recorded herself and
That's adorable.
and implanted into Target. You hear it, and then Target will just go off. He's got a movement speed of 40. So
Movement speed of 40. And does he have any special abilities or evasion or anything like that while he's in this mode?
he has vigilance, so he can't be surprised. So he
Okay.
will see things before they see him, essentially.
Okay.
He's a passive perception of whatever mine is plus 2.
Mhm.
So that's 13. So he's a passive perception of 15. He's not like necessarily quiet. He doesn't have. He could be stealthy. I can roll for that.
But he wouldn't like if he saw something that was obviously dangerous, he'd avoid it and like all that good stuff, right?
Well, Nisa just gave him a direct order to make a circle and come back. So
Okay.
if he like brought a trail of mobs, that would be what would happen. Because that's what Nisa said.
Roll a D100.
A 100. Okay.
A 100.
100
Okay.
wolves.
99% children.
55.
55.
55.
55.
So you hear. So Target he disappears around the side of the building.
Yes.
And it takes a couple of moments, but then you hear some barking, and then some shouting,
Oh,
and some more barking, some more barking, some more shouting. And then you see Target appear around the other side of the building and returns to you.
Okay.
Target.
And then you hear the battle music start.
Yep.
As everybody
Nisa's like, God damn it, Target!
Aurelian just lets out a big sigh.
We're supposed to be discreet, Target.
Okay, I'll work on it. We have things to work on. Target's gonna be perfect. Don't worry.
All right, let me just.
It was a great idea in theory. I'm,
It was a good
disappointed
idea.
Looking at Target.
Nisa, you did a good job. It's okay.
I got a 4.
Or did Target just want to like wake us up and give us some combat?
That's fair. Target, what is your motive?
anybody get over 20?
I did.
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
Amadi, what'd you get?
21.
21. And what'd you get, Lenosa?
23.
Nice.
3.
You guys get initiative?
It's only because I rolled an 18.
You guys are getting bonuses? Like,
15 to 20. 10 to 15?
10.
I got 13.
13, Rowan.
Dennis needs that alert feed.
That wouldn't have helped here.
5 to 10.
Sad.
All right, you got 4.
I got a 4.
Am I missing
Eventually
anybody?
have advantage on
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody, aren't
it's a
I?
barbarian thing.
Oh, yeah. What'd you get, Dennis?
9.
9, okay. And I know I said that Target and Nisa can share an initiative, but I will let you, if you want to do separate initiatives for them, we can do that.
It's up to you.
It makes no difference to me, just whatever you prefer.
It says in rules as written that he takes his turn right after me.
Okay, so we'll just put him at one initiative less than you.
Yeah, so if like a monster was in between me and him, then that would happen.
Gotcha.
Either way, he's after me.
Okay. In that case, Lenosa, you are up.
Okay, cool. So, I believe I believe the invisibility is worn off by this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost certainly has.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over here and prepare an attack. If anything comes around that corner.
Okay. What are you going to prepare?
I am going to prepare and I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure here because they're probably going to come around the other side. But I'm going to prepare my quarterstaff, and I'm basically going to, if I see anything, I'm going to hit it around just around the knee area. I'm aiming to knock somebody prone here.
Okay, aiming to knock somebody prone, and that's going to be all you do for this turn.
That's all I'm doing for the turn.
Okay. What about you, Amadi? What are you going to do?
I'm going to stay exactly where I am. And I would like to hold action for Eldritch Blast. Actually, no. I would like to hold action for Firebolt. If anybody hostile comes around either corner, I would like to hit them.
And you said, say Firebolt if anybody comes around the corner?
Yes, Firebolt, not Fireball.
Okay. I messed up.
And it is a cantrip, so I should not lose spell slot or anything for that.
Okay. Easy peasy. That's gonna lead to alien activity if anybody's played XCOM.
Yes.
Something happens in the dark.
Oh,
What happens in the
jinkies.
dark?
Well, it's a good
You
thing
had
I'm
to
on
go there.
Overwatch, right?
Same.
Exactly.
Yikes forever.
Love it.
Wow, 40 feet of movement? Holy cow.
He fast little armadillo.
Paste. Apparently the wolves are also fast.
Heck!
And you see 4 wolves barreling around the corner of this temple. Lenosa, one of them is within range of your ready to action if you wanted to.
Okay, so now that I see that they're wolves, I will still aim for the legs if you want to make me, but I think she would probably adjust then, since I think she was probably expecting like a bipedal creature to go on cranial shot.
Yeah, I'll let you adjust on the fly. You readied the action, so you weren't totally caught off by surprise.
Arigato. That is going to be... Gimme. That's a 19 to hit.
A 19 hits.
Okay. For 9 damage.
9 damage. All right, and actually, you know what?
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Target, what are you doing?
Not right now!
We don't need it right now, Target. I'll explain it later. Okay. 9 damage. Got it. Okay.
So I'm just swinging my quarterstaff for people who don't know what's happening, and I rolled some dice to hit the wolf, and I succeeded. So now I hit the wolf, and it takes damage.
Yeah. So that happens. Rowan, you're up.
I believe, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut Rowan off, but I believe this wolf here in the very front of the pack would take a firebolt to the face.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to use your ready to action on that.
I would, yes.
Okay.
Is a 10 hit?
A 10 misses. Sorry.
I was expecting something bipedal also, and it
Yeah.
was not. So there it goes. Okay, your turn, Rowan.
Erin's going to look at the front two wolves and cast Chill Touch, but a thing that the player didn't know is that with the necromancy cantrips, I can target 2 creatures instead of 1 as a death cleric. So some of those death tolls or Toll of the Deads could have been failures, but failures everywhere else. So, but that's fun. And she rolled a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Perfect. So you see basically 2 purple skeletal hands just launching like from the ground, trying to like grasp over the wolves. And that is 1d8 of damage. So 1 damage each.
1 damage each.
So perhaps instead of like a full hand scratch, it just kind of like gives head scritches. Painful
Right.
head
Boops the
scritches.
snoot. Just
Yeah, I like that
A
idea
little
better.
too hard.
Boops a little bit too hard on the snoot.
All right. The damage has been accounted for. Anything else you'd like to do on this turn?
No, yeah, I'll stay here.
Okay. Aurelian.
I'm gonna try to get up here with Lenosa. 5. Yeah, I'll get right up in here. Run up alongside Lenosa on the right side of this building and drawing my 2 rapiers and swing with one of them. Let's see. It is a natural 20.
Hey, there we go.
Let's go. And so how we're doing that, right, is we're doing a max damage die and then rolling for the additional damage for the critical, right?
Correct. And then on top of that, you can roll for critical effect. Just by rolling another d20, and if it hits like just a regular attack would, you get that critical effect.
So just to confirm with my critical, because this is all brand new, for the rogue with the sneak attack, do I get? Well, there's not an ally within. It'd be 5 feet within of the creature, right? Is that true?
I believe so. Yeah, it's got to
Okay.
be 5 feet of the creature.
Gotcha. Brand new rogue.
Oh,
see.
baby.
Baby rogues. That's okay because I rolled another 8. So let's see. That is 20 damage. 20 damage. And I'll roll the critical effect. I rolled 24.
24. So that would hit. So you get the critical effect, which is slashed shoulder maximum damage. So that means any damage dice that you would be using, they're all maxed out. But I think you said you already,
rolled
an 8.
max damage,
Yeah, so-
but it's okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'll
So
take it.
you nailed it. 20 damage. So you pull out your rapier and you just shish kebab this thing. It just runs right into the blade and falls limp.
Nice. I will just kind of like in a whirling motion, stabbing into that one, and then sliding forward here. I'm gonna attempt with my offhand to strike this other wolf in front of me next to Lenosa.
Okay.
Oh. Just throwing dice everywhere. Don't mind me. That is a unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20 hits.
Heck yeah. Sorry. Well, I would not. I don't add the bonus damage. So it's and I get sneak. I can apply sneak attack on this one, right?
To this one, yeah, because they're within 5 feet. Yeah.
14 damage.
14 damage. So just in an instant, Aurelian runs up and kills 2 of these wolves.
I rolled max damage again on both of these, and I don't know what the odds are of that, but it's real life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Feel pretty good.
Jeez.
Lenosa gives him a smile and a nod. Like,
Yeah, I'll look over at Lenosa after I do that. Just nod, and that is my turn.
All right. And you see from around this building 4 humanoids wearing similar but not identical robes to the one that you spotted that first night you were in town. Come running after these wolves. Get down! And
Looks like
that's
we have company.
their turn. Danis, you're up.
Okay. Danis is going to see these murder puppies that came around the corner. And he is going to put himself directly in the middle.
Beautiful.
As Danis is one.
I expect nothing less.
And as he's on his way, he'll be charging, and he'll be swinging his flail, getting momentum on it.
You didn't hurt Target, did you?
And he will begin to rage.
Nice.
Because that's what Danis's do.
I will step to the side to let him pass.
Just take a little bit of a...
Yes.
And on the rightmost murder puppy, he will go ahead and swing.
Swing away, Danis.
The first strike will, in fact, be reckless.
I expect nothing less.
That is 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Okay. Math is hard. 11, 13 damage.
13 damage. And this is with your flail, right? Or your mace, sorry?
Yes, the flail.
The flail. So you enter this rage, and just in a single blow, you decimate this wolf.
Poor little murder puppy. Okay, and then Danis will swing with the quarterstaff at the one on the left.
Okay.
Okay. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 hits.
Okay. 5 damage.
5 damage accounted for. Anything else you care to do?
Let me... Yes. Danis...
Oh, okay.
Danis is going to... Oh, never mind. I used my bonus action to weapon fighting, so I
Gotcha.
cannot... Never mind.
Okay. Alrighty. Nisa then.
All right. Nisa is going to move her 25 feet.
No short legs.
Because she's short. She's going to run up and... Sorry, I meant to go that way. And she's going to shoot that boomerang.
Eee.
It's a 2. 6 total.
It's a miss.
It's a miss. So it flings around the corner, passing Aurelian and Lenosa and Danis's face, and then just comes back.
Aurelian ducks out of the way and covers his head.
Mm-hmm.
If you look to your left, you'll see Nisa's boomerang taking a tour of the facilities.
And Nisa's like, fuck! And kind of like recoups. That's all that she can do.
All right. What about Target?
Target will be following behind until she hits her 25 feet. He's going to go 35 feet in between all three of our party members.
Okay.
Where this dead wolf is. And anything that comes within 5 feet of target will have disadvantage on attacks to Danis, Aurelian, and Lenosa.
Nice. Alrighty.
As long as they stay within 5 feet.
Right. That brings us to round 2. Lenosa.
Well, it worked so well the first time that I'm gonna move here and I'm gonna hit this wolf in the head with my quarter staff. That is That is a dirty 20.
Nice.
A dirty 20 hits.
And then that is 7 damage.
7 damage. Kills it. Oof.
Okay, so Lenosa's going to be a little bit of a savage in to flavor this up, in that she is basically going to use the point end of the quarterstaff to like jam this wolf's head up against the building and just like crush the skull that way.
All right, I hear you.
And let's see. I think she is going to set up with Polearm Master for an opportunity attack for her bonus. If that's a thing I can do. I don't know if it is.
I think it's a reaction.
That's what I was trying to remember if you could.
Because Polearm Master has an opportunity attack.
I'll say
attacks are reactions.
Okay.
So.
Now, does Polearm Master let you? I think it does, but does it allow you to take an opportunity attack when a creature enters your space?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
the thing that Polearm Master does.
Okay, gotcha. Then yes, in that case, as soon as one of them comes within reach, you can take that opportunity.
That's my plan.
Nailed it. Alrighty, that brings us to Amadi.
Wonderful. Hello. So I am going to leave Rowan. I'm going to say, be safe, I love you, bye. And then I'm going to run over here so that I'm right up in the business, right behind Aurelian. And I'm going to sort of creep up behind Aurelian. I'm going to say, hey, love, would you like fire, poison, acid, cold, lightning? Pick your poison. 1, 2, 3, go.
Lightning.
Wonderful. And I'm going to touch him on the back. And I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath on him.
Ooh.
So now, once per turn as an action, he can spew a breath weapon of 15 feet, and it is lightning damage that deals 3d6.
I love this.
That's pretty crazy.
That's quite wonderful, and the dex save is DC 15 for them. To avoid it, they will take half damage on a successful save.
All right, you might have to remind me of that, but
that's okay. I will keep track. Also, that was a bonus action, so I will also go ahead and just look at this gentleman here out in the front of the pack of the bad boys. And I will say, stop right there, and I will Eldritch Blast him, hopefully. Please don't mind me dropping my can. That is a 14, 15, 21.
21 hits.
Thank God something hits that I do. Hold on. For 1 point of force damage. Yay!
Welcome to our club. Welcome to our club.
We saw in episode, I think it was
Welcome, Amadi. Welcome, Amadi.
That one damage matters
Amadi.
sometimes.
I love it so much. And that's my whole turn. That's all I can do.
Well, the wolves are all dead, so that brings us to Rowan.
Rowan, seeing that all the wolves are dead, but hearing the other assumably or presumably that's the word. Third tries the charm.
Words are hard. It's okay. It's okay.
It's been a long day.
I feel that.
We love and support you anyway.
Yes.
It's true.
I'm really glad I'm not playing like a bard or anything. So this could be very much well within Rowan's character. But yeah, Rowan, who is going to speak words at her friends, she's going to cast Bless, and those words are going to be in Celestial, praying to Shar, who then something. Shar is totally cooler than America is definitely in there as well. And she's gonna target the usual suspects for the Bless, so Lenosa, Danis, and Aurelian.
Getting the buff.
Nice.
Buffing them up.
Yep.
All right.
Like Animal Crossing with the polish.
Anything else?
No, that's gonna be it.
Alrighty. Aurelian, with the lightning breath that you have been bestowed.
Yes. I'm feeling super pumped up. I am gonna rush up here and try to hit all three of these cloaked figures with this newfound lightning breath. Just kind of like
15-foot cone.
Yes. So just
you can do that.
opening up and just letting forth just this torrent of lightning.
All right. Pond, how does this work again?
Okay, so all of them need to make dexterity saving throws. The DC for that is 15.
Okay, let me do that real quick. Fail. Pass. Fail.
And then Aurelian will roll the 3d6 for his lightning damage.
Is it half damage on save?
It is.
Okay.
It is a second level spell, so.
13 damage.
13 damage.
So 13 on a fail or 6 on a success. Or however you have it.
So lightning shoots out of your mouth, and just the two directly in line of you, they just fry to a crisp. And the other one falls down to his knee for a moment, just completely taken aback by this. And he's not looking too good.
And then I would just want to blow like just a puff of sparks like at him. And then I'm going to step up towards him. And with my bonus action, attempt to stab him with my rapier.
Go for it.
I'll blow him a little like spark kiss. And that's a 10.
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. 10 is a miss.
All right. And that is it.
Alrighty.
That is the coolest thing I've ever
their
done.
Turn. And this one directly in front of you is going to swing at you with the scimitar that he has in his hand. Does a 17 hit?
I believe it does. That's my AC, 17.
17.
So it's meet it or beat it, right?
Yes. In that case, it will be 4 slashing damage. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This one's going to come up to you.
You don't have to be so rude about it.
Wiped out everything, but I don't think this one's going to hit. Does a 11 hit? You said the 14.
Not.
Yeah, okay. That's their turn then. Danis.
Okay. So Danis is going to stand exactly on the corpse of a man who has been fried to death.
Just disappears. There we go.
The corpse was too big. And which one just hit Aurelian?
It was the one directly in front of you.
Okay, he's gonna get a reckless strike.
He's just won a reckless strike.
Tell him what he's won, Bob.
Oh my god.
Bring him
so I got the
down.
critical split. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20.
Dang. Nice.
So I believe that's a 30 to hit. Does a 30 hit? With the
No,
blast,
it
of
doesn't
course.
actually. Yes, it does. 30 freaking hits.
Just checking. Did I just? I'll deal with that.
Would you all just run if I said no, it misses?
Yes,
No,
I would.
Dennis would not.
We would drag Dennis away.
Yes, we try our best.
You can try. You can certainly try. So it's sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm trying to get used to these crit rolls. So that was 8 confirmed. So 6, 14, and then cool. So did I say 16?
I heard
8.
I heard an 8, but that you've been saying numbers and I don't know what's what.
Sorry, I'll add it up again.
Oh, you're
Brain,
fine.
do the math.
336.
So yeah, 16, and then I will roll to confirm to see. Yeah, that's probably confirmed. 24.
Yeah, confirmed.
Okay.
And this is bludgeoning damage, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter because normally they would be knocked unconscious, but with how much damage did you say? 16 or 13?
16.
16. With 16 damage, he's dead.
Okay. So that man got what was coming to him.
He sure did. He attacked Aurelian. How dare he?
Yeah.
Rude.
Okay, and then gonna swing with the quarterstaff at the other guy.
Alrighty.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 hits.
Would a 13 have hit?
A 13 would have hit.
Okay. I was just seeing if it would have hit without the blast, but
Okay.
thank you anyway, Rowan.
Discount Bard math is a damage source of its own, and
I agree.
I am weak to it.
Yeah, not only is my barbarian not resistant to psychic damage, I am not, and math is the main source of that. 5 damage.
5 damage to this guy. 5 damage accounted for.
And despite Danis having been yelling up until this point, he looks at him with pupilless eyes and says,
Don't ever touch my friends.
He poops his pants and runs away.
"We can certainly try."
I snorted. Oh my god.
Nisa.
Yes.
Runs away.
Okay, so Nisa's like falling behind. She's gonna take her little tiny feeties and run her 20 feet next to target. Hi, Rowan.
He's totally winded.
All right, let's go. She throws her boomerang again. She's gonna try her best to hit the target that is the only one alive, 25 feet away from her.
Okay.
And she takes her boomerang, winds it back with a 19 to hit.
Nice.
A 19 hits.
Heck
Yay! 13 bludgeoning damage.
13 bludgeoning damage kills it.
It conks off his face and then just flies back with like a gross amount of blood on the edge. And she just goes, waves it around when it hits her hand again.
All right, you catch your boomerang back, and everything that you can see appears to be dead.
Should we check the other side?
Yeah, I don't see why
I'm
not.
inclined to go inside myself, but
But then they can trap us inside
Eh.
and overpower us in a smaller space.
True.
But also, you guys are strong. I'm the one concerned about this.
Chances are they probably know we're already here, is my guess.
Mhm.
Target. You just hear.
I laugh, little sparks come out. Just
And Rowan, who's been kind of like squinting at like these clerics, because honestly, she didn't get a good look at them to be real. She's very far away. Is going to actually just go up and check at the dead clerics.
Lenos is gonna squat down to Target and be like, "To be fair, you weren't asked to be stealthy."
I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points real quick to recover a 2nd level spell slot, DM.
Okay.
That only lasts for a minute, so use it while you can. I say maybe we go inside and see who we can stab. Rowan, are you okay?
I'm fine. I just didn't want to get too close.
No, I don't blame you. You stay. No stabbing.
I will.
Wait, can we see if anything's wrong with these people?
Yeah, I'm looking at the people right now. Do we see?
Nisa would like to join.
So they're wearing a similarly greenish cloak, like the ones that you saw on the creature that first night that you came into town. It doesn't have like the runic strip on it, but it's just sort of a green robe / cloak. Otherwise, they're carrying scimitars, but nothing else really. They appear to have just been kind of on patrol.
Are we still in initiative?
No.
Okay, Danis runs.
Runs where?
Okay.
Well, he can only run 30 feet, so about there.
So he runs north away from the group.
Okay, I'll run that direction.
I was gonna say Lenos is gonna also.
And I ran so far away.
Right here.
Rowan's just gonna instinctively run because everyone else is running.
Nisa is not. While everyone's running away, Nisa wants to take off the mask of any of these cultists.
Yeah, these ones are actually not wearing masks. They just have a cloak.
Perfect. I would like to inspect their face and their arms for any sort of like branding or anything that would indicate the god or any religion that they are trying to give themselves to, and also in the process stealing all of their rings and every metal item on their body.
Roll an investigation.
Perfect. 19.
So you find like some decorative rings and maybe some chains, just jewelry basically. Nothing that appears to be organizational in any way, like it belongs to a cult or just identifying in any way. You've got the scimitars on them, but otherwise just a couple of pieces of jewelry, and that's about it. No branding that you can find, no insignias, nothing like that.
Do they have any licenses that indicates that they have a name?
No, they're not carrying ID on them, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Pulls giant bag of metal over her shoulder.
You're just like jangling at this point.
That's why she's not stealthy.
Oh, right. Just the bag full of metal.
Clink, clink, clink.
She in fact has disadvantage on stealth.
I like to think that this sounds like a Christmas tree when it shakes.
Right.
I love that.
Target, come on.
Danis.
You're going to take some time to investigate the grounds, or is Danis still raging?
So I I said that he sprints away, so technically I do still have 30 more feet. But that's where he would come to.
Okay.
Madi tries to catch up so they can stab Danis in the leg real quick, just very gently.
Okay.
Keep the rage!
Gentle stabbing.
Gentle stabbing to keep the rage going.
Just
Bring it
gentle
to the
stabbing.
rage.
Does he look like
Remember
he's
not-
snapped out of it, or he's...
At about this time, he would have snapped out of it. And he goes from
Throw a
like
dagger in
really
his back.
heavy breathing.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Want some cheese?
Oh, well, at least nothing's dead this time.
Lenosa kind of puts a hand on his shoulder. I'm afraid you're incorrect, but we are all relatively healthy. I think only Aurelian took a little bit of harm there.
And I am fine thanks
And-
to you, Dennis.
And it was because of you that it was only a little amount.
So, things are dead, but we are alive.
Those guys don't have any names. I joined the party, hopefully. I'm short, so I'm really far behind. I say it to Rowan and Amadi next to me.
I would wait
Here.
for you.
Let me just take a look at that.
And he'll put his hand over the
Snap.
wound and use healing word. For 6 health.
That is
Max
Perfect.
healing.
perfect. Dennis, thank you, my friend. Second time tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I inspect the building to see if there's anything on the backside of here that we could use to maybe get in or something like that?
Yeah, so the entirety of the building is just a solid stone structure. The only entrance or exit that you can locate is the front doors.
There's no like windows up high or anything like that.
No, just a square stone structure. There's like the temple itself is probably 30 or 40 feet high, and from the road in town, it looks like there might be some kind of like skylight type dome, but it's going to be 30 to 40 feet up in the air.
You're lucky I'm only level 3.
Are
Would
there
not stop me otherwise.
Right?
are there other buildings back here?
There are. Do you inspect them?
I perceive them.
You perceive them.
So they just
One
look
of
like-
them appears to be just a small little shed, maybe like a storage shed. Another one looks like it might be like a kennel, and then another one looks like it might be just kind of like it's a small building. Not sure what it might be used for, but it's got 2 doors on it.
What do you say?
So would you say that this one here is the kennel?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then you said this one's a small shed.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to inspect the. And she turns back to Aurelian and Amadi and Danis, and perhaps we should. As Amadi just moved back one. Never mind.
I'm right there. I just want to keep Rowan in eyesight because I feel like we leave her behind a lot, and Amadi feels a
I
little
don't
guilty
move.
about that.
Quite fair. I think we should investigate the larger building there.
Let's go.
Perhaps someone is trapped or something of that nature, or kept in that particular.
Could be another entrance as well.
It could be, yes.
Yeah, I agree. Before we make our way into the main building, we should check these out.
Let's go.
As we head up this way, I do want to peek in the storage shed.
Yeah, in the storage shed, you can open it up. Inside, there just appears to be some groundskeeping tools, like some shovels, some fertilizer, some hand tools. Nothing really valuable or interesting. Just a storage shed.
Okay. I look over. I see Nisa. I mean, there's metal in here. If this is nothing particularly valuable, unless.
Well, you're trying to talk to my heart right now, aren't you? She just walks right over. Aurelian, I do have to say though, those people over there didn't have any names or IDs or anything.
Oh, we can't ask them now.
I mean, we killed them before we even talked to them. What if they had a family? That's my thought. I'm just like scooping metal into my bag while I'm like having this deep thought.
Just looting this place. What if they had a family? What somebody loved these people.
Well, they did.
We all have some kind of family, but they made their choices.
This is heavy.
Let's talk about this later. Maybe over some
is it because I'm
drinks.
making you feel things? Just like following behind.
So how is this building going? Are we going inside or
Does nobody feel bad about killing people, even if they are evil? I say it kind of loud.
Lenosa. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Amadi.
No, what? No, I was just thinking, contemplating. What?
Lenosa kind of turns like over her shoulder. There is some remorse in our actions, at least for me, but I was not going to let that stop them from hurting any of you. And she kind of just like doesn't quite turn around, but kind of just has it kind of over her shoulder, like aimed at Nisa, but like not really.
Nisa kind of lowers her head, like, okay.
That was a much better answer than mine.
I didn't realize that they were people that we had killed.
I mean,
I didn't remember.
Lenosa kind of like doesn't look, but says, in the future, I will do my best to cause non-lethal damage, but if any of your lives are at stake, I will not hesitate.
I am of the same mind.
Agreed. I probably won't aim for non-lethal damage, though, Nisa. I'm sorry.
Well, I can do the interrogation. You guys can do the punching.
That's we could do.
She like just awkwardly laughs.
Right. And with that, she kind of uses her quarterstaff to press on the door that's just north of her head there. So this one.
Can I mage hand pat Nisa on the back? Just like a comforting little boop boop gesture.
Aurelian's going to be quiet because now he has to feel things.
That's some psychic damage right there.
Big mood. So if you open the door to this building, you can clearly see inside of it. It's some kind of barracks. There's 4 beds matching the 4 bodies. There's a chest, which if you go through, just has some regular clothes, like commoner clothes that they would clearly wear when they're not wearing the cloaks. Aside from that, maybe a couple of more pieces of jewelry and some other metal items like plates and silverware that Nisa can take for her hoard. We're gonna make you a red dragon at some point. But that's about it. The kennel is empty. There's some dog food in this room. Or wolf food, whatever.
Nisa, I did not mean to be dismissive. I
don't think you were.
I've been wrestling with a thought since we met the elven couple, and she kind of like,
what's your thought?
taps her fingers together, kind of like this, like in front of her face. They seemed to be very casual about the mention that there was some sort of charm on this town, and I find that the most logical and reasonable answer we've gotten since we've arrived. And she kind of pauses and she says, I think we can no longer afford to stay out here, because the longer we wait, the more likely it is that the person we came for could be gone in a way that is less pleasant than death.
Yeah.
But you are correct. There is no glee in the lives that I have helped take tonight, but
I'm just thinking, like, some of the evilest people in all of the world have been really good parents, or really good lovers, or someone cares about this person. So we just took them away from that person. So,
and there is an extreme chance that they do not mean to cause us harm, but they have no other choice.
True. But I just want us to think about that. I'm not saying that we need to stop being murderers. But I don't know.
It's not the word to use.
Well, it's what we did, isn't it?
Context is important.
Context is important,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, murder still happened. Nisa starts walking forward.
It's just vigilante
It
justice.
is too late for all of these thoughts.
It is 3 in the morning.
Dennis is just staring at his hands.
And it's you protected us, Dennis, and I don't know if I would be alive if it were not for you. So sometimes we do what we have to do, but they are important things to think about.
Lenosa's going to make a break for the front door, like going
Okay.
all the way around the front door.
I will follow to the front door. Ronan is uncomfy.
I assume at this point all of you make your way to the front door in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Somewhat
Like, Nisa,
heavier
get the
conscious.
fuck
Well, I meant like she broke into a run, like she's like done with
going.
this.
Right, like time is of the essence. We need to go.
It's like that part of the sleepover where like most people are like, let's go to bed, but not. And there's the one friend.
It's like, we got to talk about our feelings, guys.
Guys, do pigeons have feelings?
Amadi's going to just be like, well, you know what? It's kill or be killed out here. And I don't feel bad about it one fucking bit. And then they're going to break into a run and follow everybody else. No feelings.
I'm gonna stick by Dennis, however fast or slow he's gonna move.
Worried for Danis, though.
I just want to
Just
stick
a
with
bit.
them.
Dennis was going real slow. He was
Yep.
kind of like, he was the tail, other than Amadi, who apparently didn't seem to care. But
I won't say anything else, but I'll just walk with
Amadi
him.
doesn't outwardly care about people who are trying
Well,
to kill
Danis,
us.
they were gonna hurt Target, and I don't think you remember what happened.
I don't.
Well, you don't have to remember if you don't want to. Sometimes it's easier, and sometimes I wish I could forget.
I think there's a spell for that.
Well, that's not what I mean, but okay. She just looks at Amadi and is like, no.
You said you wish you could forget. I could research.
Yes, but it's like a con.
I'm sorry, I don't have the same feelings as you, Nisa. I just
I
try to help
probably
when
would
I
be
can.
just like you if I did forget.
Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
Maybe you can use it on yourself.
Lenosa's going to put a hand on the door to see if that word does anything to her.
You put your hand on the door. You feel no ill experiences, and if you give it just the slightest of pushes, you can tell it's open.
Well, I am ready to find out what we need to know from this place. And she pushes the door open and takes just one step inside.
You open the door, and for the first time, you see this large room, which has a tile floor decorated with an abstract mosaic pattern in orange, tan, brown, and blue. You see several ragged tapestries decorating the walls, all depicting scenes of lush farmland and crops in various stages of maturity. You see the 5 huge elm trunks serving as columns in the room. And you see the Statue of America carved from a solid piece of jade, which is mounted on a low dais at the north end of the room. You also see Misha laying in the center of the room, blood pooling beneath her, a dagger in her neck. And from within the temple, somewhere, you hear.
There's only one that can stop me now! Now I need to kill Defilicious!
And that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
Can you just re-say that name for the notes?